Everyone, happy Friday. I just want to mention again that I made a template schedule, so just click the link below and go check that out. Okay, so let's get started. Make sure you have your materials for Friday, March 27th, 2020. I'll give you a second to grab that. Okay, and just a reminder, while you're watching your videos, please make sure that you have your packets in front of you. You don't want to do your packets before the video or after the video, because the purpose of the packets is so that you can do it while you watch all of our videos, okay? And you can make sure that you have the correct answers for each. Okay, so let's get started with number 1. Nisa is 15 years old. She is 8 years younger than Cameron. How old is Cameron? Label more and less. All right, so I'm going to give you a second to label who has more and who has less. Okay, so I'm going to read that first sentence. Nisa is 15 years old. She is 8 years younger. So if she's younger, she's going to have less years than Cameron. So we know that she means they're talking about Nisa, and we know that she's younger, so we're going to put less for Nisa. Since we know Nisa has less, then Cameron has more. Now let's look at the question. How old is Cameron? So we're going to focus on Cameron. And now that we know he is older than Nisa, we're going to add the two numbers in this problem because it says more for Cameron. So write your number sentence quickly since you know that we're going to add. Okay, so you should have written 15 plus 8 equals question mark. So we have our parts, but we are missing our total, so we know we have to add. So right now what I want you to do is I want you to do a strategy for this problem. You can get started. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put 15 in my brain, and then I'm going to draw 8 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 circles. I know I'm adding because I'm missing my total, so I'm going to count up. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Now I'm going to write a number sentence that matches my work. 15 plus 8 equals 23. This was my total and that was missing. Now I'll give you a minute to answer this question. How old is Cameron? All right, so Cameron is 23 years old. Okay, so remember, your strategy doesn't have to look exactly like mine as long as you got that answer, 23. Let's move on to question number 2. Circle the equations that are true. Show your work. Okay, so for these types of problems, I can see that the equal sign's in the middle. So I want to make my work a little bit organized before I get started. So just watch me. I'm going to separate this, and I'm going to put little squiggly lines because I'm separating each of these problems. Then what I'm going to do, and you can copy me as I do this, I'm going to draw a box to separate each problem from each other. Then I'm going to draw a line because I know I have to figure out if these have the same answers. I'm going to do the same over here. So make sure that you're doing the same thing that I have on my chart. That way you can set yourself up pretty nicely, okay? Okay, so we're actually going to focus on this one first. So what I want you to do is I want you to solve both sides and see if you get the same answer on top. So I'm going to give you a minute to do that one. Okay, remember, if you need extra time, just pause the video and then you can keep going. All right, so I'm going to put 13 in my brain, and then I'm going to draw 7 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to count up because I'm adding. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so I'm going to write my answer on top right here to see if I get the same answer on this side. All right, I'm going to put 11 in my brain and 9 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to count up because I'm adding. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, look at that. So 20 is the same as 20, so I know this equation is true, so I'm going to circle it. Now what I want you to do is I want you to figure out if these equations are true, so you're going to solve this one right now. All right, so I'm gonna get started on this. So it says 11 minus 5, so I know I'm going to count down and subtract. I'm going to put 11 in my brain, and then I'm gonna do 5 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm counting down. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Okay, so 6 was our answer for this one. Now I'm going to solve this side. I'm adding here, so 12, 4 circles, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm counting up. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so hopefully you did not circle these equations because 6 does not equal 16. So these are not the same numbers. We're going to go to the next one, so you can solve this one right now. Okay, let's try this one out. So, 3 plus 3 plus 3. I'm putting 3 in my brain. I'm doing 1, 2, 3 circles, and then I'm going to do another 3 circles because there's another one there. And now I'm going to add and count up. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So my answer was 9 for this one. Now I'm going to do this side, and remember, I'm going to subtract, so it's different from this equation. I'm putting 15 in my brain. I'm doing 6 circles. Okay, now I'm subtracting, so I'm counting down. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Awesome. So 9 is the same as 9. I'm going to circle this. Hopefully you did the same thing. So we only had 2 that we circled. Okay, so let's go on to question number 3. Count up by 5s for each. All right, so one thing that you definitely need to remember is that there's a pattern always happening in the ones place. You will always see 5, 0, 5, 0, 5, 0, and that would always keep continuing, okay? So for example, we have a 5 here and we have a 0 here in the ones place. You should know what's going to happen next in the ones place for that next pattern, okay? So actually, I want you to focus on this first part, and I'm going to give you time to solve that. Okay, I'm going to start. So 695, 700, 705, 710, 715, 720, and then 725. And you can see that there's like the counting by 5s pattern right here. You know, when you start to count by 5s from the beginning, you can see it right here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So then you can keep continuing on, just keeping the hundreds the same until you get really close to 95. Then you would move on to the next 100. All right, so now what I want you to do is I want you to finish this one right here. So we're starting off with the number 390. You can get to it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. So 390, 395. Okay, we're really close to that next 100. So the next 100 is going to be 400, 405, 410, 415, 420, 20. Okay, so hopefully you got that pattern correct. I want you to move on to the next one. We're starting with 500. You can get started. All right, so 500, 505, 510, 515, 520, 525, and 530. All right, let's keep it going. So we're going to move on to question number 4. Solve this equation and make it true. This one can be a little bit tricky. One thing that I do notice is that the equal sign is in the middle. So we want to make sure that we box this side of the equation. We put a line and we box this side. Now, I noticed that this is missing, so we're not going to be able to solve that side first. We're going to have to do this side. So I want you to take a moment. I want you to solve 5 plus 8 plus 11 here first. All right, there are a lot of parts here, so I hope you took your time. Okay, so we're putting 11 in our brain. We're putting 8 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm going to draw 5 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a lot of circles. Okay, so now I'm going to count up. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So hopefully you got that answer, 24. All right. Our job is to figure out how much we need to subtract from 32 so that our answer gets to 24. We don't know how much we need to subtract. That's something that we need to figure out. So I want you to put 32 in your brain on this side. And I want you to draw circles and stop when you get to the number 24. So you're going to count down. So I'm going to have you try that out on your own. All right, I'm going to get started. So we have 32. I'm going to start counting down. 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, and 24. Okay, so this is going to be our missing part. I'm going to count how many circles I made. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we were missing the number 8 here. And when we put that number in, we know we're going to get the same answer, 24. So 24 is the same as 24. All right, awesome job, guys. We're going to move on to question number 5. It says choose two values that are the same as 307. Okay, so let's look at this first one. It says 3 ones, 7 tens. I'll give you a moment to think about if that's the same as 307. Okay, so hopefully you cross that out because that is not the same as 307. That number is actually 73. All right, let's look at the next one. 3 hundreds, 7 ones. Is that the same as 307? Okay, so hopefully you circled it and you said yes, it was the same. Because we do have 300s and we do have 7 ones. All right, let's look at the next one. 200s, 10 tens, and 7 ones. All right, so this might have to do a little of like figuring out just because we need to know what 10 tens equals. We know 10 tens equals 100. So if that equals 100, I'm actually going to cross this off and I'm going to bring it over here and I'm going to make this into 300s, okay? So I know that I have 300s, I don't have any 10s, and I have 7 ones. Is that the same as 307? Yes, so hopefully you circle this because it is the same as 307. Okay, let's look at this next one. 3 tens and 7 ones. Okay, so 3 tens and 7 ones is definitely not the same as 307. All right, guys, you worked really hard up to this point, and now I think you know what time it is. Dance break. Let's get to it.
If I could, I would push rewind. It's my fault. I'll give you my heart. You can crush it. Moving on. I'll be on my way if you want it. I surrender to you. Yes, I am waving the white flag. I surrender to you. Yes, I am waving the white flag.
All right, I hope you had fun with that dance break. We only have 2 more questions to go, so let's move on to question number 6. Find the sum of 536 plus 91. Use the HTO chart to help you solve. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to label on top. So put HTO and then put TO here because there's no hundreds. What I want you to do is I want you to show this number using pictures down here. And you're not going to label just yet. That's going to be the last thing we do. So show me what 536 would look like with your HTO chart. You can start that now. All right, I'm going to go ahead and draw that. So I'm looking here and I see for the hundreds place we have 5 hundreds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have 3 tens. 1, 2, 3, and 6 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now what I want you to do is I want you to draw this number 91 for your tens and your ones. You can start that now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw that. So I have 9 tens. And remember, I'm trying to put them in rows of 5 so I can easily figure out if I have 10 tens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I have only one more here, so I'm putting 1. Now my job is to regroup. I'm noticing that I can't regroup my 1s, but I can definitely regroup my 10s. So I actually want you to do that with me as I'm regrouping. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10 tens here. I'm going to cross it out and I'm going to draw it over here so I can make another 100. So now we only have 2 tens left. Now you can take the time to label everything. We can get started. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. Now I'm going to count by tens. So 600, 610, 620. Now I'm going to count these. I actually know that I have 5 ones here because I put them in a row of 5. So I'm just going to label this and add 5 more into my ones place. So now it's going to be 625. Then I'm going to count on 626, 627. All right, so that was my answer. So make sure you write 627 down here for your answer. And now we just have one more question left. Question number 7. Circle the equation if it's true and cross out if it's false. Okay, so we've done a lot of these problems today. So I want you to make sure you're doing the same thing that we've been doing while we know that the equal sign's in the middle. We're going to draw that line and then we're going to box it so we can solve each side. First, I want you to solve this side. And then we're going to go over it. Then after that, we'll solve this one. So just solve this side for now, and you can get started. Okay, I'm going to show a strategy. I'm going to put 43 in my brain. And I notice that I have to subtract, so I'm actually going to count down. Since I have the number 22, I'm not going to draw 22 circles because that would take a little bit longer. I'm going to draw 2 10 sticks, and then I'm going to draw 2 1s to represent 22. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to count down by tens. So 43, 33, 23, now I'm counting down by ones, 22, 21. All right, so we're gonna write that answer on the top so we can see if this matches that answer here. Now you're going to solve this side. You can get started. Okay, so I'm going to put 12 in my brain. I'm actually going to do one 10 stick and a 1 over here, so that represents 11. And I'm going to add because it's telling me that I need to add for this equation. So I'm going to add 10 to 12, which gets me to 22. Then I'm going to add one more, which is 23. Okay, so is this equation true or false? It's definitely false, so we're going to cross that out. All right, everyone, you did such a good job today. I hope you have an awesome Friday and you do some awesome things with your family this weekend. Bye.